Hello, hello, agents for life. Welcome to podcast number 249. We got some great stuff we're going to go over. I hope your week has been going well. If not, hey, you might have another day or two. I don't know what day you're listening to this, but there's always, you can have one good day that can really set your week. And so don't despair. Every day is a new opportunity, every day is a clean slate. Make the most of all of it. Welcome to entrepreneurship, right? So, but if you do need help, please, please, please reach out. So, a couple of announcements. Number one, Indianapolis in September, leadership training in Columbus, Ohio in December. You've seen us talk about it. We've seen them probably on the Telegram post. If you're not familiar, go there. If you're anywhere within driving distance, you definitely need to be there. If you have to fly, I really hope that you'll make the effort to be there. Yeah, I understand we can't be to all of them, and you'll have to make that decision. But I can tell you the more in-person events you can get to, the better it's going to be for your career. You are going to learn and grow as a person and come back empowered, and it will change your business. So put those on your calendar, put them on your radar, and do what you can. And by the way, you're thinking to yourself, there's just always more events, right? Always more airfare, hotel. Yeah, you know what? Every few months we have something. We get together as often as we can. So count on it, plan on it, and catch the ones that you can. All right. Mic drop thought for the week. Actually, a story. I do have a story from the field. It's kind of interesting. I posted on social media. By the way, I am doing an experiment on social media, and I'm inviting you to join me. It is September is Life Insurance Awareness Month, and I'm posting every day. And so far, I've gotten two people. One that's scheduling, and the other one has already scheduled. She scheduled herself, and they are just friends of mine. One was a guy from high school that I haven't talked to in, gosh, well, since high school. So I'm not going to tell you how long that was, but it's just the beginning. So I invite you to join me on that challenge. Post something every day. Just post things that you learned. Post stories. Post about you had an appointment. It's boring to you, but you know what? You can make it exciting by talking about it and telling those stories in social media. Don't sell, but tell stories and engage people that way. So one of the things that I posted on this week was a reaction. So it was he wanted the whole house paid off. He was in his 70s, and the wife was in her late 60s. And so I quoted him 50,000, and he's like, his first reaction, well, what's 50,000 going to do? That's nothing. And then I get talk to her, and her reaction was just the opposite. Oh my gosh, 50,000, that sure is better than zero. We can't afford the whole house, but we can afford 50,000. That's better than nothing. And what was interesting is that he's going to be gone. He doesn't, I mean, yes, he cares about his wife for sure, right? But to him, 50,000 is like, okay, whatever. Well, she's looking at it from a different perspective. There I am in the home. He's gone. Income's down. I got to have something. 50,000 is better than zero. You see the difference, right? So, interesting perspective and a little story there on how they view the same amount of coverage. All right, mic drop thought for the week is the numbers game. We always talk about, and you hear this comment over and over, is this a numbers game? And it's the answer they always say is yes. This is a numbers game, right? You just do the numbers, 10, 6, 3, or whatever the formula is. And the more I think about it, the more I realize, yes, it's a numbers game at first, but then soon after, it becomes a skills game more than a numbers game. Now, I'm not saying it's not a numbers game, and certainly not saying you shouldn't be tracking your numbers. Please don't misunderstand me. You all know how big I am on that, and y'all better be doing it. Okay. Y'all better be doing it. So, but besides that, a lot of times we put a little too much emphasis that it's just a numbers game and that's it. And here's what I mean by that. When you buy 10, let's say you run 10 appointments, okay? One of them is going to be a lay down sale on average. Okay. Lay down is someone that's ready. They have a check stamped to their forehead. And whoever shows up, they're buying something. Okay. Easy appointment, right? Lay down is what we call it in sales. And they're going to have one or two that are just absolutely no. The best salesperson can't close them. They're just nope, nope, nope. Whatever you got, I'm going to think about. They're just rigid. They're not going to do anything. It's those 80% in between, one or two on the front end, one or two on the back end, and all that middle chunk. Guess what? It takes a little bit of skill. to close. So when you say it's a numbers game, if you don't develop the skill, you're stuck to the laydowns. Think about that. And they're just a small percentage. So you can make some sales, the easy ones you'll make, but all the rest that you have to have some skills for, you're probably going to miss out on unless you develop the sales skills. All right. So, numbers game, yes, to some degree, but then also even more so than numbers, it's a skills game. And once you get your skills down, then yeah, you run 10 appointments, you know you're going to close this many of them, you know you're going to write this much business. That's what we mean by this is a numbers game. And that's, by the way, why it's so important that you need to be tracking your numbers, because in that sense, it is a numbers game. But in terms of closing, I'm going to say skills, you can't beat it. So practice, practice, practice. Be an eternal student, always be learning. Always show up on the calls as much as you can, take notes, implement new scripts, new things, new trainings, and get your skills better and better and better. And you'll be glad you did when you start closing more and more and more of that big chunk of all those people that require a little bit of skills to win their business. Weekly training for the week. All right, really quick, I want to hit on this. This is all the little yeses that lead to one big yes. Okay, I love this. I love this topic. This is like gets me a little giddy. So we're all hoping when we go through a presentation, we want to get to a yes, ultimately, right? We want the person to see the value. We want the person to say, I would like to proceed. Because why? We want to protect the family. We want to make a commission, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's business and it's how the life insurance industry works. So when we get to the end, though, if we haven't done all the rest up to that point properly, we may be asking them to do too big of a jump to make that sale. And then it sounds like this. Yeah, I want to think about it. Right. Now, if you're watching this podcast on video, I'm going to hold up my hands. And on my right hand, I've got my hand up, up top, up high. And to the left, my other hand, it's down lower. And there's a huge gap in between. And as we go through our appointment, we're slowly bringing them closer and closer to this top level. The top level represents a yes. I'm going to get a life insurance policy. And right here, starting out, it's definitely a no, because they don't know us, they don't like us, they don't trust us yet, and we haven't built any value. So this little step ladder in between the two, this little staircase, that's the value staircase. We build on that by getting what's called mini yeses. Yes, 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 till you get to the very top and you have one step left, and that's when you ask for the sale. And it's a little boop, and you're right up there and you get a yes. Okay. If you've only gone yes, 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 and you're here and there's a big gap, you haven't built enough value, they don't like and trust you, or whatever reason holds them back, then you're probably going to get a think about it. You're probably going to get a no. You're probably going to get, I'm not sure. It's too much. Any kind of smokescreen response, because they don't like telling you no. Most of us don't like saying no to somebody, so we say something else. It's just human nature. And so here we are thinking, oh, we've got a sale. He's going to do it next Tuesday, or he's going to think about it. He sounded really good, or yeah, he promised, that we would write the policy tomorrow night, and yada, yada, yada. And you and I both know how well that works out, right? So in order to truly get that last big yes that we're trying for at the end, you have to get good at all the little yeses before that. Okay. Now think about what I just said. How many times can you get your client to say yes, to agree to things? Because and this isn't like manipulation or something, this is bringing them along the right path. Because if we're not bringing them along, I want to know right then. And that's why I ask for many yeses. So how's this sound to you? Are we on board? Are we on the same page? Does this still sound like something that would be important for you to have? Do you have any questions? Well, that would be a no answer, because a lot of times they'd say no. But do you see what I'm saying? Like any kind of small question that brings them along and they're like, yep, yes, yes. Not only does it keep them engaged in your presentation, but they're practicing what? Yes, right? They're practicing. So when you get to the end and you ask for that sale, It's a natural, easy thing because you've brought them along, you've built the value, they understand what it is, right? Because they had every chance to tell you, no, I don't understand, or no, I have questions, or this isn't making sense, or it doesn't feel like something I need. They can tell you back here. So you can address it and see if it's legitimate or if it's something that can just be corrected with some information or some teaching. I want to know early on if there's a no. And that's why I keep asking yes, keep asking yes, keep asking yes until you get to the end. And then you boop, ask for the final yes, which turns into the sale and close. Now, does it work 100%? No, nobody's 100%, right? But I can tell you if you get good at the mini yeses, you're going to get really good at that final yes. And it's going to make that final yes much easier and much more natural. So if you're struggling closing, I want you to try some of that out and see if it works for you. Thanks for listening. Go out and implement these changes. Remember, skills, numbers gain up to a point, but then after that, it's skill set. So you got to develop these skills, get better and better. I am not the guru. I am still learning. I'm an eternal student. There's so much I don't know. I'm passing on things that I do, and I hope they're helping you out. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you next week.